What's going on, everybody? This is Renegade #1, aka the Feminist Killer, hashtag Logitorian. Break your addiction. That is the key to you being free. If you are wondering how to reach that state of closure, that state of inner peace, in order to get to that state of inner peace where you're making yourself happy, where you're not depending on the outside world to give you that energy of satisfaction, you have to break your addiction. Breaking your addiction helps you escape that mental prison that you continuously live in. A lot of you guys are living in mental prisons. A lot of you guys, don't want to look at the solutions that you currently have because you don't like what the solutions are. You have solutions. The solution's not going to make you feel good. You have to change your perception of that solution. You understand? Perception is everything. The reason you continuously battle with this depression, the reason you can continuously worship your desires, because you perceive them more bigger. You look at your desires more bigger than yourself. You have to be bigger than your desires. You understand? If you're not bigger than your desires, you're always going to be in a state of suffering. Always. So you're at that stage now where you understand self-improvement does not work. You should know that by now. Self-improvement does not work. Oh, just focus on yourself. That's bullshit. That does not work. And you should know that. You should be at a state, obviously, if you're calling yourself black-pilled at least, you should be at a state where you're letting go at this particular point. You're letting go of your addictions. And I'm not talking about alcohol and drugs. I'm going to think outside the box and talk about other things that are forms of addiction. A lot of guys are addicted to competition. A lot of guys are addicted to money, women, status, popularity. Those things are addictions. And you got to blame, obviously, the media, television. They're putting all this hypersexuality in front of you to get you addicted. They put this shit in these music videos and the music that you hear on the radio when you drive into the damn store. It's all glorified to get you addicted. You have to avoid being addicted to things. You have to avoid attachment. All of those things create suffering. They try to get you to play the rat race. Oh, she's so sexy, models. If you want to get a model, you got to work real hard. If you want to get money, you got to do this and play the game and work for the system. That's what they brainwash you to believe. Those things don't create happiness. They keep trying to brainwash you to think that external goods make you happy. True, genuine happiness comes from finding satisfaction and being content. Whether you fail or you win, you still should find contentment in your life. And that's the stoic mindset that you need to be at. To be black pilled, you have to be at a stoic mindset. If you don't know what stoicism means, I highly recommend you look it up. Right? Stoicism is basically whether you in a good circumstance or bad circumstances, you're still happy. You're content with living a minimalistic lifestyle. You're content with walking away from all the people in society. You're content with cutting off toxic blue pill friends. Your friends they're not going to understand you. They're going to question you. They're going to call you weird. They're going to call you crazy. Your family's not going to understand you. You have to cut these people off. I would rather live a life of solitude than to invite a company of fools. I'm sorry, I can't do it. I'm at that point. I have zero tolerance for ignorance. I have zero tolerance for the blind. If you want to remain blind and not acknowledge the elephant in the room, then kudos to you. You can continue going down Shit's Creek. I'm not going down that lane anymore. I know where that takes me. And so basically, I broke free of my addictions. If once I broke free of my addictions, I look at those things that I used to desire, money, women, status, popularity, and I laugh because it doesn't mean anything. You can obtain all of those things and people still won't give a fuck about you. Life has no profound meaning. It's silly. You caught up on social media. You caught up listening to other people brag about, oh, how nice their car is. None of that stuff matters. Those people are addicted to a superficial lifestyle that does not add any meaning to their life. It's funny. They think they're winning, but they're really just being slaves to things that don't even matter. You're not a slave anymore. You don't work for the system. You don't work for validation. It doesn't matter. You learn how to live without. And that should be your mindset. That should be your mentality when you utter those words, I am black pilled. If you haven't mastered that, you are not really black pilled. You have to be real with yourself. You know, your job should be to master the art of combating temptation. You have to know how to combat temptation. For me, I limit all social contact. I don't need to talk to people unless I have to. It's a waste of time. I understand that most people that you talk to when you're black pilled, they just try to deprive you of energy. And that's the thing. Most of you are still battling with depression and you're in this deflated mindset because you're in a state of deprivation. You allow people to take things that you value from you. You allow them to take things from you. And the only way you can get yourself out of that state of being deprived of things that are valuable is for you to not value those things. If somebody stole $10 from you right now, you can choose to be pissed off that you lost $10, or you can say, I don't value money anyway, so I don't give a fuck if you take it or not. You see what I'm saying? The art of not caring is powerful. The state of indifference is powerful. You know, people like to see you in states of disappointment so they can get a rise out of you. It makes their dick hard. It makes their pussy wet. It makes them happy to see you fail. It makes them happy to see you disappointed. So that's why you cannot allow yourself to get attached to things. Because when people take them away, when people take those things that you get attached from away from you, they like to see you disappointment. They like to see you disappointed. They like to see you in a state of suffering. That's why you have to practice the state of not caring. You have to practice breaking your addictions. If you don't, your addictions will overpower you and control you and make you a slave and a subordinate. You don't want to be that. You know, again, you can't listen to everybody on YouTube. You can't. Oh, all you got to do is simple. It's simple solutions, man. You know, no, that's lies. Okay? It's not, there's no feel good advice for you. And another thing that you have to let go is get out of that state of being angry. You should not be angry towards female nature anymore. You should not be angry towards the world. You should be in a state of deep understanding. When you understand something, you no longer have anger towards it. If you still have anger towards women and you're counting on women failing, you're always going to be in a state of suffering. Anger is really self-inflicted, just to let you guys know that. If you're still battling with the red pill, what do they call it? The angry red pill stage, whatever the fuck it's called. You're hurting yourself. You're causing more stress and turmoil in your life. That's why I'm saying come to a state of understanding, come to a state of inner peace, and just see things for what they are. If you count on women to fail, you are always going to be disappointed because a woman ain't never failing. This system is set for her to succeed. This is her game. She's never going to lose. Accept that. Accept it and move on. Understand that all of these people that you see out in this world, they are dead to you. They should be fucking dead. They're non-existent. Those are holographic projections. They don't really exist. They're not on your frame of thinking. They're never gonna be on your level. So again, don't continue to dwell on things that you can't have. That's a defeatist, that's a coward mindset, that's a weak man mindset. Change your habits. Being black pilled forces you to look within. You have to look at yourself and you got to ask yourself, why do I feel depressed? And you got to find the connection and break that connection. Break that habit. Break that addiction. Everything around you is a drug. You cannot get caught up with the temptation. You cannot get caught up with things that are visually tempting. All of that stuff. You have to live a life of peace and solitude and quiet and being silent. But break that, I think that's the key towards, killing all anxiety, killing all anger, is just understanding what you're addicted to and choosing not to be addicted to it anymore. Some of you got to go to therapy to break your addiction. If you got to go to therapy, hey, you got my number. This is the real therapy. Oh, a certified psychologist is not going to understand your problems. That's why I created a Discord. I'm going to put the link in the description box. You can just chat with me if you need to. But yeah, man, that we are the key to our own success and our own failure. And success and failure is subjective. It's not objective. You don't have to have these physical goods to be successful. There's a lot. You'll be surprised how many people are depressed and unsatisfied even when they have these things. The only thing having money and having status do, they attract fake people to your life. Those people don't care about you. You understand? You're addicted with competition. You're addicted with trying to get your looks matched, getting your appearance right. You're addicted with trying to look for validation. Guess what? Break those addictions, because guess what? I'm just going to let you know your efforts are futile. Your efforts are pointless. No one gives a fuck how you look. No one gives a fuck. Those people will use you and then move on. That's it. You can never permanently keep a person in your life. You can't do it. Period. So break your addiction and move the fuck on. But this is Renegade #1. Like the video, share, subscribe. Peace.